So, welcome to today's video. Today I have the Rosa Studio set, 24 full pens, and the full pens, it says two, 2.5 milliliter. So the normal full pen would be 3 milliliters, but Rosa Studio and Rosa Gallery, as well as, for example, White Nights, have a little bit smaller full pens. So we get this set in a card box. They are offering all the informations on the back side. Uh, for the pigments and the light fastness as well, you get this plastic sheet inside, which also offers all the information. So that is really neat because not every student grade set or paints are offering those informations. So you can pull the pens out of the box. So if you want to put it in a tin, for example, this is possible, and that's really great because the cardboard box isn't the nicest thing to contain your colors. So one little information as well. This is a German brand called Createch, and I saw this on Amazon, and I thought, damn, they look identical to Rosa Gallery. And I've bought them for super cheap because it was a super sale. They were around 15 euros. So 15 euros for 24 full pens. I thought, okay, let's buy it in and take a look. And I thought because they also have these the edges in that kind of form. They look like Rosa. I don't know any other brand offering this pen style. And as you have seen now, yes, they are a white labeled version. So depending on where you live, you could buy this original Rosa Gallery, or you can also buy the Createch and getting the same paints as well. So, like I said, we have 24 full pans offering 2.5 milliliter. And depending, of course, where you live, the price varies. In Germany, you get this set between 15 to 20 euros. So it is really a super cheap version for me here to buy as a set. If you think about 24 full paints for, like I said, I've bought it on a sale for 15 euros. That's really absolute no-brainer for me. If you say you want student grade paints. You see, I only swiped a few times. You get a lot of color with only a little bit of effort. As far as I know, Rosa uses, I'm not sure if they use honey in their student grade paints, but I guess they will probably, because they feel a little bit sticky as well, like the artist grade range as well. So the first one we have here is called Lemon. It's a PY3, and Rosa has a 3-star rating system with their light fastness. So 3 stars is the best, and 1 star is the lowest you can get. And they have rated their lemon as a 2 out of 3. And don't be confused if you see different informations depending on light fastness with this pigment, because it has versions which are really light fast, and some versions are not very light fast. It is always depending on the pigment supplier. Some offer more light fast versions than others. So the next here is Yellow Light PY1. They say 3 out of 3 stars, but I personally know that PY1 isn't light fast, so please keep that in mind. The next one is Yellow Medium, and it's a mix out of PY74 and PY83. they offer 2 of 3 stars. I'm not quite sure about the PY 74, sorry. What pigment that is. Would have to look it up. I know the PY 83 also varies in light fastness. So yeah, that were all the yellows. Depending on light fastness, the yellow, orange, and red area of the set isn't the best, but they are beautiful colors. And if you are not, if light fastness is not important, it is really a really great set. The next here is orange. It's PO 13. They already say it's only a 1 star, so this would be also not a very good light fast color. But I think you don't always need light fast pigments. So if you're working in the sketchbook, for example, you don't need light fast pigments. Or for other things like making cards, where you're making a card, the person who get the card will read it and maybe put it in a drawer or something like that, or adult coloring, for example, or just cheaper paints to practice new techniques or color mixing and things like that, where you don't want to use your super expensive other colors, or just for trying out watercolors for the first time. It would be a really great set. So yeah, let's swatch the next one. We have here red light, and it's a mixture from PR 122 and PR 4. So PR 4 isn't light fast, but the PR 122 is light fast. So I guess the 2 of 3 stars is probably right. It will lose its warm touch because the 122 is a quin magenta, and that is very quin pink. That's very pink color. So yeah. The next one is red deep. It's PR 170, and it says 2 out of 3 stars. I know that that is definitely a pigment which will fade a lot, so would probably more close to a one star. The next color is called Madder, and it has 2 of 3 stars in light fastness. It contains 2 colors I'm not very familiar with because they are not really used often in artist grade paints. It's more something used in cheaper or student grade paints. And it is PR 144 and PR 63 column 1. So it's a very beautiful dark red. Even while knowing it isn't light fast, it is a very beautiful red. So the next one is carmine, and we also have here a color, or a better said, a pigment I'm not very familiar with, but probably like the pigments just now, I would more handle it like 1 star. They offer 2 stars, and it is PR 57 column 1. So like I said, those 2 rows are not very great in the light fastness rating. It would have been, of course, great if you really have magenta and a yellow, which are light fast, so that you at least have one where you can work with when you are depending on light fastness. But to be honest, a student grade set which has this low of a price and has this great colors, for me personally, I say it is okay. I just use it as it is in areas where I don't need light fast pigments, and that is just for the quality you get it, because they're really great paints. I can't say anything against them. They are working with them is very easily. It makes a lot of fun. They re-wet like a dream. So yeah, I can oversee the little light fast problem in the first two rows. So the violet here, that is something I was really surprised with, because most student grade sets offer not so light fast violets, and this is called violet light, and this is a mix from PB29 ultramarine blue and PR 122, so quin pink. So it is a complete light fast, or better said, a very good in light fastness. So you have a very beautiful violet here. And the next one is called Violet Deep. It's a PV3, and it is a non-light fast pigment. They also offer only 1 star. And this is super typical choice for student grade sets or paints, and or also for cheaper sets as well. They often use this PV3. Why do companies use a lot of those non-light fast pigments in their student ranges? It is just because they are a lot cheaper than the other pigments. And of course, student grade paints do cost a lot less than an artist grade paints. And to get to be able to offer colors for that kind of price, they have to look where to save some money, and that is often they don't use very expensive pigments. They often choose not so light fast pigments because they're even cheaper than the cheapest art in pigments in the artist range. And also mostly they use fillers in the colors, and some brands use more fillers than others, I must say. The Rosa Studio ones don't feel like they have a lot of filler in it. So that is for me a very good student grade uh, choice, because some other brands put in so many fillers that it gets nasty, and you don't have this translucent, vibrant thing you really want to have with watercolors. So the two greens we swatched just now. The first one, the lighter one, is green light. It is PG7 and PY74. So it's a mix, and it has 2 out of 3 stars. The PG7 is a phthalo green, so that is very light fast. And like I said in the yellow row, I'm not quite sure about the PY74. It's not a pigment I've worked with a lot. The last one, the darker green, is just called green, and it's a PG8, and they offer 3 out of 3 stars. And I must say that's not really correct, because the PG8 is sadly non-light fast. It is an absolute beautiful natural looking green, and I use it a lot in sketchbook works, for example, and I really like it. It has a beautiful shade of green. The sad thing is, like I said, that it's not very light fast. And the only companies I know which are still using this pigment, because most other brands don't use it anymore, is Rosa Gallery or Rosa Studio, as for the student grade paints, White Knights, and Shinhan PWC. I have a tube of the screen from them. So then we have emerald green, PG7, so a phthalo green, 3 out of 3 stars. Of course, phthalo green is a super light fast pigment, and I like this color a lot. I know a lot of people say it's too artificial of a green, and they don't want to use it because it's not suitable for any kind of botanical or landscape art. But to be honest, it is an absolute great mixing green. It is a single pigment green. I mean, there aren't a lot of single pigment greens. A lot of greens you are buying are mixed greens. So that is the first thing. Of course, if you have only one pigment, you can use it perfectly for mixing, and just try to mix it with browns, for example, like burnt sienna or burnt umber. You will get absolute beautiful, natural, olivey kind of greens. Or you also can use um, oranges to mix with it. You will get absolute beautiful greens when you try mixing those with like earth colors, for example. So I can really recommend it even for botanical and landscape as a mixing green. So the color underneath the emerald green is called turquoise. It's a mixture of PG7, phthalo green, and PB29 ultramarine blue. So it's a very beautiful and very light fast color. I really like it a lot. I mix this all of the time in other sets myself, so love the color. The one I swatched just now, they call it Blue Light. It is a phthalo green, and it's PB 15 column 3. So that is, I think, the greenest shade of phthalo blue, and it has 3 of 3 stars. So that is a perfect primary blue. You can use this for mixing, and that is always a good choice to have. Great, they have included that one. The next one is ultramarine blue. It's PB29, 3 of 3 stars, and that's my personal little favorite since I am a child. That is, blue was always my favorite color, and this special kind of blue was always my most favorite kind of blue. So yeah, that is the color I use the most. That is, I use it more as a primary blue than the phthalo blue, just because I love granulation as well. Ultramarine blue is a granulating color, and if you mix other colors with ultramarine, you always have this beautiful color separation effect when you're using enough water. So yeah. love that. That's for me. It's an absolute must-have color. The next one is just called Blue, and it's a PB15 column 1. So it's another shade of a phthalo blue, and it is a lot cooler than the blue light we had swatched prior. It also is, it gets also very dark, and it is, I think, a very, very beautiful blue. And blue, which is a phthalo blue shade, which isn't offered by a lot of companies. I think Schminke Horadam has one. I think it's called sapphire phthalo sapphire blue or something like that. But yeah, it is more on the unique side. Not super rare, but not the typical phthalo blue. So we had now yellow ochre, and it's PY42. I'm not quite sure. They're only saying it's 2 out of 3 stars. Normally, the iron oxides have always the highest light fast rating, so I'm not quite sure why. But it is PY42 is a synthetic yellow iron oxide, and yeah, one of my most used browns. So if you would ask me what are my most used browns, then I would say an ochre, any kind of ochre, a burnt sienna, and a burnt umber. That are my 3 most used browns. So the next one is English red. 3 of 3 stars, and it's a PR 101, and that's basically a synthetic red iron oxide. And with the iron oxides, I will definitely make also a color family series out of those. But we have a lot of different shades. We have yellows, reds, browns, blacks, and we always have a natural one and a synthetic one. So the cheaper brands or student grade mostly use the synthetic versions because they are um, mostly cheaper than the natural ones. So the last one was a raw sienna, and this one is a mixture between PY42 synthetic yellow iron oxide and a PBr6. That's a synthetic brown iron oxide. And I must say, the naming of the yellow ochre and the raw sienna are a little bit strange for me because I think the first one is more like raw sienna, which they call yellow ochre, and I think the raw sienna here is a little bit more like a yellow ochre. So don't know why they did it like that, but yeah. This color here they call burnt sienna, and it's a very strange burnt sienna mixture out of 3 different pigments. We have a PR 101, so the synthetic red iron oxide, also the synthetic yellow and brown iron oxide PBr6 and PY42. I think the shade of the brown is very similar to a burnt sienna, but a burnt sienna is not that opaque. And this mixture here is very opaque. I think that's because of the yellow ochre and the red iron oxide. And it wouldn't be my first choice as a burnt sienna. I think you can definitely use it and do a lot of things with it, but I prefer a more translucent version like a PBr7 or a completely translucent version like a transparent red iron oxide. So the next one was the raw umber, and this is a mixture of the nearly the same pigments. We have the PBr6, we have the PY42, and here we have a PBK7. So that is I'm always unsure with the 6 and 7. It's either lamp black or some kind of coal black. And I must personally say, I absolutely hate raw umbers with a shade like that. It always looks like poopish brown, and I don't like it. So if you like this color and use it a lot, please, 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 because there are in so many sets and I never use them, leave me a comment and tell me for what you are using that color, if you have any great recommendation for mixing or stuff like that, because the color itself, I personally just don't like it. Yeah. The one below was sepia. This is also the mixture of similar pigments. It's a PR101, PBK7, and a PY42. It also has 3 stars of light fastness, like the raw umber and the burnt sienna here as well. I think it's a very beautiful version of sepia. Of course, you always will get hues with sepia. All the major brands don't use the genuine sepia anymore because it's non-light fast, and that's the reason why they don't use it anymore. That said, isn't the one color combination all the brands use for sepia. Every brand uses their own combination. You will have completely different pigments, completely different combinations of pigments. So you can buy 5 different sepias and have 5 completely different versions of it. So yeah, just to keep in mind. If you really want to use a genuine sepia, then you will have to look up handmade watercolors. That is the only way you can still get the real deal. And the last color here was lamp black, and this is a combination, strangely, between PBK 7, sorry, and PB15 column 1. So the darker phthalo blue we have in the set as well. I don't know why they have included a phthalo in here, because phthalo is a lot more expensive than the PBK 7 pigment normally. But that said, I am very happy about the choice of black, because we have rarely in sets like that neutral or a cool black. Mostly sets with that sets like this comes with ivory black, because it's by far the cheapest black pigment I know. That's normally the one is included in nearly all standard sets, and it's a black I personally don't like. I've come to the point that I say I can do good mixing stuff with it, but on its own, it's a warm black. I don't like it. That's just a personal preference, so I'm happy about the choice here. Rosa made that they don't include the ivory black and choose another black instead. That's really a rare choice. Of course, you will always read a lot of people writing or telling you that watercolor shouldn't work with a white or a black. And for me personally, there is no right or wrong choice of color depending on whites and blacks. It's just depending on your personal style, on your personal preferences. What are you even drawing and coloring, and stuff like that. Yeah? Don't let yourself tell you aren't allowed to use a black or a white. If you want to use it, use it. For me personally, I never use whites at all. When I want to use a white for highlights, I mostly use gouache or a white gel pen. Of course, a lot of sets come with a white, and I try to use those because I'm born and raised in Swabia, and that it's an area in Germany where people say they are very good at keeping their money and not spending too much. And that's also a reason why we always try to use everything up and don't waste anything. And yeah, so I try to use them as well, but it is not so easy because I'm not working with a lot of colors where white is mixed into it. But a lot of people do enjoy working with pastels, and if you like that as well, don't let don't let someone tell you you're not allowed to, because that's just not true. You do what you like. And the same goes with the blacks. I personally, as my black or neutral, and also a color I use for muting other colors a lot, is my first preference is a neutral tint. But if I'm working with sets like this and I have any kind of black in it, I still use it. So yeah, I use a lot of blackish colors that don't have to be a single pigment black, but like I said, a neutral tint, for example. Love to use that as well. And if you do a neutral tint in mass tone, it just looks like a black. So a lot of people don't order colors like Payne's Gray or neutral tint into the blacks. But like I said, if you really do a mass tone, they look like a black. So why not? Yeah. depending on the color choices of this set, if you leave the problem with the light fastness at the side, then I think it is a great set. You have a really great collection of different hues of each color. You have different yellows, from a lemon to a warmer. You have a warm and a cool reds. You have two different kind of purple. You have some greens. You even have a turquoise. You have some blues, and you have a big selection of earth colors. I think that's it is a great choice on the colors. You can definitely completely work with this set without needing to buy some extra colors, because you have a lemon, you have but if you take the carmine here as a magenta substitute, and you have of course the phthalo blue, then you have also the three primary colors, and that opens everything. Depending on, you could mix so many colors alone with these three colors, and you have a lot of other colors here as well. So yeah, I think the choice is very good. Some sets have like one yellow, but six different greens or so, and I think that is something they did here very good, because it is very evenly. You have three blues, you have three greens, you have four reds, you have three yellows. So it is a good collection of colors here. Also, that set is, at least in Germany, of course, I don't know how much the set costs at your place. Depending on where in the world you're living, the prices varies a lot, but mostly from what I've read from other or heard from other artists all over the world, Rosa is a brand mostly in most parts of the world which is very cheap. So I'm not quite sure if the student grade range like the set here is accessible everywhere. But generally speaking, Rosa is one of the cheapest brands I know, and they make absolute great paints, and I can only recommend them. I've drawn a lot with the Rosa Gallery paints. I will make videos to those as well. And I've also worked a lot with the studio set already, and I can't say anything bad about them. I have only good experiences with this set, and I think it is a great choice for if you say you want to gift someone a set, if you want to try watercolors for the first time and you don't want to spend a lot of money but want good colors, then this is an absolute awesome choice. Also, if you have kids or nieces, nephews, and stuff like that, which are now in the age where you say they are taking art a little bit more seriously, like in their teen time, and then this would also be a great choice for them as well. And also for things like adult coloring, card making, and stuff like that. I think that are really, really great colors. Just keep the light fastness thing a little bit in mind. So I personally use studio sets like this for adult coloring books, for example, for works I know I won't hang up a wall or gift or sell to someone. So like sketchbook work. I love to use, for example, student grade paints when I have done my outlines and I'm not satisfied with the result. I don't throw pictures like that away, because I think with every piece you color, you learn something new. So you're developing with each one you're coloring. I just use for those pictures, I'll use mostly my student grade paints, where I use my artist grade paints for the one I think I've done good. And I think it's also a great choice if you say you already have artist grade colors, but you want to have a cheaper set for maybe the exact same reason, or to try out new techniques and do some color mixing, get better at color mixing and stuff like that, and you don't want to waste your expensive colors, then a set like this is an absolute great choice to make, I think. So yeah, that was this Rosa Studio 24 full pan set. I hope you did enjoy this video. I hope it was helpful for you. And just leave me a comment if you want, for example, if this is a set you would be interested in buying, or if you already have it, what is your experience with these colors? Yeah, I would like to know. I would love to read this, and I am, as always, super grateful if you would leave me a follow or a thumbs up. And yeah, so maybe you want to see other videos like that. I have them in a separate order from product reviews. There are already a few in there. If you missed them, you are welcome to look them up if something is there which is maybe interesting for you. As well as I've mentioned color family videos. I have a series, or better said, a lot of series about color families and all the pigments that are included, and also with comparison between different brands and a lot of information. So if you're interested to dig deeper in the pigments section, you will find it in the color family order as well. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I wish you a wonderful day, and hopefully see you soon.